So the rub has already been due, and then coming up next week is the pepper cheese, rosemary cheese bread, the cream of broccoli soup, and the velouté sauce. Remember, you have to do the velouté sauce before you do the soup because the total recipe cost for velouté is a line item ingredient in the soup recipe. Okay, so whatever that total cost is at the bottom of your velouté sauce, you just put that in your soup recipe. Velouté sauce, I think it's 1 1/3 gallon, and then just put the total cost. That's all you do on that line for the recipe page. Okay, so those three are due. If you are done with those three recipes, okay, I'm not gonna go and check. You're all adults, you're all accountable, okay? But if you are not done with those, you need to remain online and be working on those. That way you can ask questions. And then same thing for here in person, okay? Um, I'm not going to work out every single ingredient because that's really what your responsibility is, okay? But I do want to go over a couple of things real quick for everyone who is here. This is something that I developed, and I don't know why I didn't add it to, um, I don't know why I didn't add it to the module, but I want to show this to y'all. Okay, this may help you in navigating this assignment. Okay, so this is a flow chart that I developed to kind of help students go step by step to figure out the process of the project. Okay, it might look a little confusing, but I'm going to explain it to y'all right now. Okay, so if even if you are done with the assignments that are due, please hang out for a little bit, and then we'll jump in and start answering questions about the project here.
Is that under our modules?
I will post it under the
Oh, okay.
modules. It's not there yet, but I will
Yes.
post it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's do an example of AP to recipe. Okay. Let's do flour as an example. Okay. If I buy 50 pounds of flour for $25, okay, and let's say I need 6 cups. Okay, so I need 6 cups of flour. The first step right here, we're going to compare. Let me do it in different colors. So in green, our first step, we're going to compare our recipe units, pounds and cups. So my question is, are they the same? Yes or no?
No.
They are not, okay? So if they're not the same, I'm going to follow this arrow right here. Okay, and I need to convert them to the same units. Okay. We want to ask this question right here. Is our starting measurement, is it in volume or weight? Okay. Obviously, our pounds is weight. Is cups volume or weight?
Volume.
Volume. Okay. So, volume or weight. If I have volume to weight, right? If they're not the same, then I need to use the conversion website. Okay. I need to use the conversion website. Once I go to that conversion website and I find out what 6 pounds of or 6 cups of flour weigh, that's when I'm going to put that answer in there. Okay. So I'm going to scroll up for a second and I'm just going to go on my phone. Okay. Let me get back. There we go. Okay, so just waiting for my website to come up on my phone. All right, so 6 cups of flour. Dang, Armageddon's getting out late today. I'm still washing dishes next.
We were taste testing some stuff from our smoked week last week,
Ah,
and you have some people who don't have class stay home, clean up.
Oh, so they're cleaning up for you guys. That's nice of them.
Well, we cleaned up, but then we had to get more stuff dirty to slice stuff.
Gotcha. All right, so these 6 cups of flour, they weigh 27.09 ounces or 1.69 pounds. Which one should I use? Should I use the 27.09 ounces or should I use the 1.69 pounds?
Ounces.
1.69 pounds.
Oh, well, pounds because.
I want to use pounds because
Oh,
my
yeah,
answer
yeah.
right here is already in pounds.
Make a
Remember?
match,
The
yes.
path of least conversions is what we're trying to go for. I know some of your other teachers say go all the way down to the lowest unit, okay? And that's one way. My way is to go the path of least conversions. Otherwise, we're going to convert that 50 pounds down into the cost per ounce. Okay, so I like to say, okay, I already have pounds, so I'm just going to say this is 1.69 pounds. Oops. Okay, now that I've done this, then I follow to the next arrow, and it says to reduce the AP cost to 1 unit. So my AP cost is 50 pounds. I take $25 divided by the 50 pounds gives me 50 cents per pound. Okay, so that's the green step. And now I just simply multiply 50 cents per pound times 1.69 pounds, and my answer comes out to 0.845. So what is my answer? 85 cents is
round
my
up to the
answer.
second.
I'm going to round up to the nearest penny.
Is that 4?
Okay. I'm going to round up to the nearest penny and 85 cents. So that's how you maneuver through this flow chart. Okay. Yes, Amaya, go ahead.
So just to be sure, the AP means as purchased, and then recipe units is.
The how much the recipe is calling for.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So let's do one other example. AP to recipe. Okay. We're going to use flour again. Okay. So $25 for 50 pounds. Now, what happens if my recipe needs 8 ounces? Okay. So first step, compare the AP and recipe units. Are they the same? Yes or no?
No.
No, they are not. So I'm going to use the arrow this way. Okay. Then, is my starting measurement in volume or weight?
Wait.
Weight and
Volume.
weight. 8
I'll
ounces
wait,
is
yeah.
weight. Okay. So if it is weight to weight, I'm going to use those known conversions. Now I'm going to follow my arrow and I'm going to reduce the AP to the cost of 1 unit. Okay. So we've got a couple of different options here. One option. Okay. Now I would love to be able to say, here is the step by step by step by step by step, and you follow this every single time, but I cannot do that because some things are going to change. You have to use your knowledge in order to understand and think critically of what we're applying to these recipes. Okay, so we don't always have to change the AP. 8 ounces. How many pounds is 8 ounces? Half a pound, right? So I could change this to 0.5 of a pound. And now my units match. And we know that a pound is 50 cents per pound because we just did that. So we can change the recipe side, right? If it's 4 ounces, if it's 8 ounces, if it's 12 ounces, that's 0.25, 0.5, 0.75. Those are really easy things to convert, right? If it's 6 ounces, That's not as easy to convert. Okay, so in that case, we would go ahead and convert the AP side. Questions, comments, concerns about that? Let's do one last one. We're not going to use flour this time. AP to recipe. Okay. Let's say we have vinegar. Okay. And this cost us $1.25 per cup. Okay. And let's say I need 4 ounces. Okay. I need 4 ounces of vinegar. So compare the recipe units. Are they the same? As cups and ounces, are they the same? No. So I'm going to follow this arrow. I need to convert to the same units. Okay. Now, is my starting measurement in volume or weight? Is cups volume or weight? Volume.
Volume.
Is 4 ounces of vinegar weight or volume?
Weight.
4 ounces of vinegar.
Volume.
It's vinegar. It's a volume because it's a liquid ingredient. Okay. Anything that's a liquid, when we see ounces, that's a volume measurement. Okay. Again, remember, I wish I could say every time you see ounce, it's going to be weight, but that's not the case because there's 128 ounces in 1 gallon. So sometimes ounces does refer to liquids. So that's why you have to remember what the ingredient that you are doing is. Okay. So look, it's volume to volume. I'm going to use those known conversions. How many ounces are in a cup?
8.
8.
8. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to divide $1.25 by 8 ounces. And when I do that in my calculator, $1.25 divided by 8,
0.156.
0.156, which means I'm going to round that to
116.
16 cents. Okay, 16 cents per ounce. And then I multiply, that's my cost for 1 ounce. And then I multiply by the amount needed of 4 ounces. So 16 cents times 4 ounces. This vinegar cost me 64 cents. Okay, cost me 64 cents. Maya, you had your hand up.
I was just confused on why you divided $1.25 by 8 ounces, but then you continued the math and multiplied it by the amount needed.
Yes, so that's this step right here is to reduce the as purchase cost to 1 unit 1 unit. So that's the same recipe unit of ounces. And so since there's 8 ounces in a cup, that's why we divided by 8 to get the cost per ounce.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so is this flow chart helpful?
Yes, very.
Somewhat. Okay, good. I will post this in our projects module then. Okay. It'll be called AP to Recipe Updated for 2024. And because that also has up here on the first page, it has the QR code for that website. So if you're working on your phone, you can just scan the QR code with your phone if you want to. And then also it has just the AP to Recipe. Okay. The last thing I want to show you before, if you're all caught up after this, then you can log off. But the last thing I want to show you is when you log into Canvas and you go to your email account. Okay. When you go to your email account, and you can also download this as well. Go to these little 9 dots up here in the top left corner. And you can open OneNote. Okay. This is helpful if you have a touch screen. Okay. If you have a computer that's a touch screen, this is helpful because you can keep things digitally together. Okay. And so I'm going to create a new one. I'm gonna call this RSTO 2301.002, fall 2025. All right. Where's my new notebook? Here we go. Okay, so project questions, and I'm going to add a page. And today's page is going to be 10/23/2025. Okay, so in here on this page here, okay, when I draw with my finger, that's this little finger with the red line, I can come here and I can do my AP to recipe. Okay, I can do all my math right here. And then I can scroll down and I can do another one, AP to recipe. I can do all my math right here for this ingredient. Then I can scroll down and I can create it again. I like to change colors just so I can keep my work separate. Okay. And then at the end, oops. And then at the end, remember those last four questions, subtotal, Q factor, total, and per portion cost, right? I write here subtotal, Q factor, total, and then portion. And so I do my math for these four answers. Okay. And then I start a new page. Once I do that, I'm going to start a new page. Now I'm going to title this one the bread. And I can keep track of all my recipes on individual ones. The way that I think about this, I don't know if this is going to date me or not, but if you think way, way, way back in high school when we had overhead projectors and the teachers had those scrolls, right, that they would just continuously scroll and then it have all the information on it. This is like a continuous scroll. It can just keep going and going and going and going. And then what I'm going to do is, so like you see, you notice I dated this today, 10/23/25. So in our recorded lectures module, which I will post this recording, okay? In our recorded lectures module, right below the recording for today, I will create a PDF version of all the questions I worked out during this class session today. And I'll put that as a PDF underneath the recording, okay? And so then I can basically just save this as a PDF and it puts all that work onto one page. So you can go back and check all that stuff that we talked about in class today. Okay. So I'm going to do this for every class that we have as we sit here and answer questions about the project. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns? If you are all done with next week's the bread, the velouté sauce, the broccoli, and the rub, you're caught up on all four of those recipes, you are welcome to log off. Okay. I have taken attendance unless you came in. Jamie,
Mr.
I'll
Minsky.
get you. Let's see, Jaime. I think you're the only one that came in. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. No, I'm gonna keep the recording going for right now. So anybody who is caught up can go ahead and log off. Anybody else who Nayeli, I got you as well. Anybody else who has questions, okay? Let me explain to you how the format for your questions is going to go. If you have a question for me, okay, I'm going to open up my OneNote and I'm going to put AP to recipe. And then I'm going to say, walk me through your process. Okay. And so by doing that, I need to verify that you have actually attempted something rather than just expecting to receive the answer. Okay. I am happy to help you. I am happy to help you. But I'm not going to do the project for you. Okay. In some examples, I may give you a different numbers and different representation of the numbers. And then you'll apply that to the recipe that you're working on. All right. So Tanner, you are first. What is your question and how can I help you?
So I was trying to do both the velouté sauce and the cream of broccoli soup, but there were ingredients on there that were not in the Chef Tech inventory no matter where I looked. I could
Okay.
not find the clarified butter, nor could I find the chicken broth. I found chicken base and I found
Yes, sir.
unsalted butter.
Did you see my response to your email? I responded to your email. Can you read your response for me and then ask me your question after you read my response? Okay, see if you still have a question. Does that work?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right. Yes, Oscar.
I'm caught up again.
You're caught up. You're welcome to go. Thank you so much. If you get to a point that the whole project is done, please tell me and let me know. I can just update your attendance for the rest of the semester. Then you don't have to come in at all once you get the project done. Okay, I'll just go in and put your attendance in for the rest of the semester. All right, anybody else have a question about a specific ingredient that's giving them a hard time? Catherine, I know you emailed me, but can you just tell me one of your ingredients?
So mine was the
Did you upload the flowchart thing?
You do it right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chef Aminsky.
You're very welcome, Tanner.
I have a question.
Give me 1 second. I'm helping Catherine, and then who was that? I'm sorry, I didn't see the name.
Amaya?
Maya. Okay, sounds good. Maya, hold on just one.
was having an issue with the
Okay.
chili powder and the garlic. So
Okay,
I've measured them all out. I did the whole thing. I went through the whole process of everything.
so for the chili powder and the garlic, I'm gonna refer back to my email that I gave you the timestamp for the rub
Mhm.
recipe because that works it out step by step.
Yep.
Okay, so I want you to go back to that video and watch the step by step for the garlic powder and the chili powder. Okay, just because there's already a recording of that.
Okay.
Amaya, yes, what's your question?
Sorry. So, oh man, I forgot my question. Hold on, let me think about it real quick. Sorry.
Okay. Anybody have a question about? Yeah, go ahead, Diamond.
The spring 2025 live lecture project introduction. That's the video that goes over the rub recipe, right?
Mhm. Yes. It
So many,
is.
so many links.
Yes, go ahead, Amaya.
So I actually had two questions. One was I put it in the chat and I said, so this flow chart will aid us in like pretty much all the math that we're doing. Like, of course, we're gonna have like different conversions we're gonna have to do or different work, but as long as we follow the flow chart, things should like.
Yes, so that's the flow chart is very generalized. That's where like if it's volume to volume or weight to weight, So if your AP and your recipe are already in the same type of measurement, so volume or weight, that's where you're gonna use those known conversions, okay? And known conversions are things like a tablespoon is a half of a fluid ounce, or there's 16 ounces in a pint, or there's 16 ounces in a pound. Those are those known conversions, okay? And it's only when you're going from volume to weight or weight to volume is when you're going to use that conversion website, okay? So we typically don't go weight to volume.
I think that's.
Yeah, we don't typically go weight to volume. We want to go volume to weight. So if we have 50 pounds of flour, we're not going to convert that into cups. Okay, we're not going to go weight to volume. We're going to focus on changing the cups to the weight. Okay, the website does allow you to go weight to volume, but we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on volume to weight. So we're gonna, whatever that volume measurement is, tablespoon, teaspoon, cup, pint, quart, gallon. Okay. Anytime we have that volume and we're trying to convert it to a weight, that's where we're going to use the conversion website. And then once we do that, then we're going to reduce that AP to the cost of 1 unit. Okay. And so we buy something in 25 pounds and we have to go to ounces, well, then we're going to go to ounces. Okay. Does that answer your first question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And my second
Second
question, I know that you brought up the notebook thing on Outlook. So would it be possible if I could like write down in just like a piece of paper everything and just draw it out?
Absolutely. Yeah. If you just write it on a piece of paper and you want to take a picture of that and send it to me in an email, I can answer any questions that way as well. Okay. But I would definitely recommend that you have it written down on a piece of paper, even when you come into class. Because like I said, when we come to going through questions, I'm going to write AP to recipe and have you write, I'm going to write down your steps as you describe them to me. And then that way it helps me identify the steps that you're taking and maybe where which error is happening. Okay.
Sure, what were the exact words for AP again? What is it for?
As purchased.
As purchased. So is that the, like the Chef Tech inventory?
That's the Chef Tech inventory. Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Yancey?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure on this all-purpose flour thing, so I wanted to check with you.
Okay.
Using that. Okay.
So talk me through your process.
So I need 14 cups of flour.
Okay, so we need 14 cups.
Yeah. And the as purchased is $17.36 per 50 pounds.
Okay, and then what did you do after that?
I went to the website and I converted the 14 cups into pounds, which is 3.86 pounds.
3.86 pounds, okay.
And then I divided the as purchased by 50 to get it per ounce or per pound.
Okay, and what was your answer?
It was 0.35. I rounded up to 0.35.
35 cents per pound?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just multiplied the two to get 1.351. I was wondering if I rounded that 351 to 36 or no.
36, yes. Anytime we have a third digit in the decimals, we always round up to the nearest penny.
And is that correct or?
I don't know if that's correct. Did you try it in the quiz?
I just did it
Yeah,
right now.
I would try it in the quiz, and then the quiz will tell you if it's correct.
So wait, so because he had that last number at the end of the 1356, you dropped off that one and then you just round up that.
Right, because dollars and
Mhm.
cents is dollars on the left side of the decimal and 2 decimals
Got
for the
it.
pennies.
Mhm.
And so we always round up to the nearest penny.
Was this one for the flour?
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
You're doing the salt first?
Was it right?
Yeah, it was.
There we go. Awesome.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the recording because I don't want long periods of just silence. But so if you do ask a question, please remind me to start recording again.
The semester project notes said that the cost for the confectioner sugar is covered by the Q factor. And I did the quiz and everything, and I got the Q factor right, but it's saying on the confectioner sugar part wrong.
So I think I need to clarify that. I think there's two different confectioner sugars in the recipe, correct?
There's one that says as needed, and one that says 3.5.
Yeah, so the 3/4 cup you're actually gonna cost out. The as needed is what's going to be covered by the Q factor. Let me update that right now so I don't forget in the future.
It's a website. I'm confused. The chicken breast. Which one do you use? Because one's. No, he
Oh,
put
it
it,
says down there.
he put it in there, so it's, that's like the only one I got.
Don't
No.
tell her where to find it. Don't just give her the answer.
No, it's in modules, Diamond.
Where's that little thing that you said you were gonna use? That you put it under the new little like kind
Yeah,
of.
so it's in the module. I think so the third one, it's AP to recipe.
Oh, updated one for? Yeah.
I was looking at what that was. So it's gonna be $1.29.
Jeffreminsky,
Yes, sir.
I have a question. What do I do, like on the rub? I did get some of those things wrong. What do I do when when it asks for the cost, the recipe cost or portion cost in the recipe? What do I do when the price of something is like below 1 cent? Like it's so tiny in the recipe that there's really no way to measure it.
Yeah, that's a great question. So we always round up to the nearest penny. Okay, so if we have an answer that is 0.00004, what's the nearest penny to that?
1 cent.
1 penny. Yep. So your answer is just 1 penny. So we always round up to the nearest penny.
And just one other question.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the difference between the portion cost of a recipe and the total cost is the portion cost is what it costs to make one portion of that recipe, while the total cost would be what it takes to make, say, for the entire dining room. Right?
Absolutely, yes. So on that, let me scroll down a little bit on my screen. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw the box that's on the bottom. Okay, so we have the subtotal.
Okay, so this goes to this. So
That's gonna be adding everything that you have above that in the ingredient costs. Okay, so that's adding all ingredient costs. Okay, and then you have your Q factor. And that is
That's what.
5% times the subtotal. Okay,
So.
and then your grand total,
Jeffreminsky,
yes,
that 5% times the subtotal, is that 5% of the subtotal times the subtotal?
yes. So you're finding out what 5% of the subtotal is.
Gotcha.
And then you're going, the total is equal to the Q factor plus the subtotal.
So.
And then finally, the portion cost
So maybe ounces to take.
is the total.
Yeah.
Divided by the recipe yield. So in this case, because all of our recipes are 32 servings, your portion cost will always be your total divided by 32. But that's just for this project.
Okay, so then one last question.
Yep.
What happens if, because like on the rub, it asked for like 1 teaspoon of garlic powder to make that whole recipe. So what am I gonna do there when that recipe yield is so minuscule? So taking like 1 teaspoon and dividing it into 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
No.
What do I do for that?
At the
I
top
don't know.
portion of
I
your
don't have it
page,
written down,
you're
but-
costing out what that
Okay.
recipe,
So then,
what that ingredient
so
costs
I
for
would
all
say-
32 servings.
All right.
When you have a recipe,
I do.
Okay.
the recipe is going to
Then
create
you need 8
the
tablespoons of
amount
chili
that
powder.
you're
Well,
using for the
about 8
recipe.
ounces, 8
That,
tablespoons.
that's what you're actually gonna use to make that
Skip
full
to-
recipe of 32 servings.
Did you do that?
Gotcha.
And so you're gonna add up all of the costs that are above there. Okay, so all those costs that you have at the top, you're gonna add them all up to get your subtotal.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Divided it was here,
It
right?
just works together.
Okay, what happened?
Okay, so we were like, wait, okay, you do that, right? You're doing that divided by that. And then
Yes, sir.
I'm on the
all
conversion
you need to do is
website,
figure
and
out
the
how many
measure out
ounces.
salt, I just need to know which salt is.
And that's it. and it's not-
If it just says salt, I usually would just use iodized salt or maybe like HEB iodized, I
You
think
want
is what I
8
use.
He's saying
Yeah, okay.
for the
Oh,
precision, you need.
Unless it says like kosher, unless it specifies what kind of salt, just use that iodized salt.
Is it same? What do you use on?
See, this seems
So then it
right.
says it's 2.26 ounces.
You're not.
So you're gonna multiply that after that you got.
Brian,
You're gonna-
look at,
whenever
I
you did
think the
9.42
provolone cheese might be
15
in that
ounces,
semester.
0.53, right?
No.
Yep, it's still here.
So then you're gonna multiply that by.
Yes, provolone cheese, AP cost of $2.75 per 1
So
pound.
it's $2, so
Mhm.
5.3. No, we said.
So Brianna, let me just clarify your question. You couldn't find the AP cost of the
Yeah,
provolone
three-
cheese, or you're
three
having
different-
trouble calculating the provolone cheese?
Yeah, so you're gonna round
Oh,
0.53 because it's
how many
53 cents.
The AP cost, okay, perfect.
You're doing
Just
teaspoons.
Mhm.
You don't need tablespoons.
And then you're gonna multiply that,
Is how many
or
teaspoons.
let's see,
It's just easier for me to.
multiply that by the 2.26.
In a fluid ounce,
Oh,
not in a dry ingredient
Spending
ounce.
$1.20
Now we gotta go back.
on chili.
okay, but like that,
Total.
but like,
Because I don't know if I'm using this website.
Wait, where are you getting 220?
I typed it in, but I don't know if that's.
What ingredient are you
That's
looking
two,
for?
two.
Well, I was trying to do
Ounces,
the
make
salt,
sure you
cause
put
I don't,
ounces.
I'm confused as to how to decide which
$3
number
here, so you
two.
know why you're getting these.
Are we just picking whatever the recipe is saying? So if the recipe's saying like
Okay.
teaspoons, but it's in
Okay.
ounces, we have to convert it to
$3
teaspoons. Or tablespoons.
Here.
Okay, so wouldn't it be 0.32 ounces instead? Cause
Okay, so let me pull up the volume to weight conversion website.
Cause I'm just trying to think how many ounces are one teaspoon, I guess.
Okay, so we have 1
Yeah, that's what I got right.
US teaspoon,
Okay, we did that.
and you're looking for salt.
Yes.
Is it 0.10? Is it
Okay.
ounces or is
Then
it?
we type in salt. Are we looking for almonds dry roasted without salt? That's the food that's here. So you have to scroll down and find,
Garlic.
The salt.
Yeah, I didn't get
Scroll
that
down,
one.
I just typed it in with.
Yeah.
Jeff Kaminsky?
He said it's.
hold on one
because
second,
I
Tanner.
We converted.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I did it like 3 times.
Okay, so that 1
So,
teaspoon of salt is 0.21 ounces or 0.01 pound.
And what kind of salt did you know?
I just use iodized. If it just says salt, you're gonna use iodized salt.
Is
Okay,
it on this? Oh, there it
chicken
is.
breast, right?
if it says kosher salt, then you'll look for kosher salt or sea salt. Okay,
Salt, Morton,
you
iodized.
just type.
that's fine. It should be the same. It should be that much different from HEB.
Wait, how do you have HEB? Or isn't it how you?
what did we do that, Matt?
What do you mean we do that?
Okay.
That's what you need us in then.
What? I wanna see, I can't, hold on.
What?
Go back to.
Oh, found it.
No.
I was gonna say, I think it's the same.
No.
So it's off by 0.02. That's not gonna make a huge difference in your math.
Okay, so either or.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Tanner, yes, what's your question?
So I went to the HEB.com to do the recipe and I went to find the clarified butter, but there's multiple brands. What brand did you use when doing the calculations?
I did not use a clarified butter for my calculations. What does the semester project note say about butter for this recipe?
Whatever that number is double.
The semester notes that you led me to said that you used HEB.com to get the ones that were not mentioned in the Chef Tech inventory.
No,
How did
I want you
get
to look a little bit closer, okay?
Or what, how did you find?
What
the-
does it say about the butter for the recipe?
which-
I mentioned HEB.com.
Whenever you put
chicken
in the
stock.
two
So yes,
teaspoons or
I
tablespoons
did,
or
I did
whatever it
put
is.
the chicken stock
look at
for
the
HEB.com. I
poundage
gave you the
and not
price
the
for that.
ounces.
So you're going here.
But what does it say about the
Like
butter
it's
for the
this, we're
clarified
going
butter?
To here,
Was it tablespoons or teaspoons? Cause I don't remember.
teaspoons.
So you need to
That's what
change
I
the
did.
Yes, yes, the 2 teaspoons converted into ounces, yes.
Okay.
So you want this in ounces, right? So that's what we just did.
It says clarified butter has a 75% edible yield from whole butter.
Now, it's.
So you need to apply the yield percentages to the of the 9 ounces of clarified butter to determine how much butter to start with. So you end up with 9 ounces of clarified butter. So you're gonna be using whole butter from the Chef Tech inventory list, okay, the unsalted butter.
Okay, no.
And then you have to apply that edible yield. So as a reminder
So
for
because
edible
it gives you
yield,
the poundage,
So what?
the 0.01, he wants you to take the
Edible yield,
0.01, multiply
yield
it by
percentage,
4.
and as purchased. So if my edible yield is 9 ounces and my yield percentage is 75%, this will tell me how much I have to start with.
You just move your
That's
decimal.
what you're gonna cost out when you cost out your recipe.
So it's whatever you're being charged.
Whatever number you find out in this circle,
Is this the ounce right
that's
here?
what you're gonna put in for your recipe.
No, you're not doing ounces.
Okay,
He
but
wants
you're
you to
using
do
the
that.
whole.
Sorry, I can't really hear you because people are talking.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's how I got it wrong, because I did ounces and I converted the pounds to ounces.
That's what I
It's
did
like
on
that.
here, see?
Yeah. So technically,
Let me figure something out, Tanner. Hold on one second.
Converted it to.
I don't have any of my headphones, so I can't switch to my phone. Okay, so if I am helping somebody that's on the microphone, that's also picking up your voices. So if I am helping somebody, if we could just keep our conversations down, and then I'll answer your question. So sorry about that, Tanner. So using this yield factor, we have 9 ounces. That's our edible yield. We need to have 9 ounces of clarified butter. To do that, we have to have the 75% yield. And so, which means I have to start with more butter. Think about basic skills class. I had to start with more butter than 9 ounces so I can end up with 9 ounces. And so that's what this right here is demonstrating. 9 ounces divided by 0.75. That will give you a certain amount of butter to start with. And that's what you're going to cost out using the unsalted butter from the Chef Tech inventory list.
Okay, but the unsalted butter on the Chef Tech inventory list goes by pound, and let me go back to where it said it. 9180/36/1 pound.
Okay, so $91.80 for 36 pounds.
Gotcha. So divide that by 36 then?
Okay, so what is my recipe amount? What do I need for my recipe?
Oh yeah, I gotta bring up menu set too. I brought up a lot of win.
So my recipe, I need 9 ounces, but I'm going to use that math. So do this math problem right here in the bottom corner. Do that math problem
I just want
and tell me how many ounces I'm going to need.
Sir, you said that if it was like 0.0000, the thing to round it up to a penny, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
All right, Tanner, so if I need 9 ounces, how much butter do I have to start with?
Penny, so it's. Yeah, but she just asked them,
Round it up to a penny.
cause it's like, there's too many zeros, there's no point, so just, it'll be 1 cent.
Yeah, but the thing is that 4 can't just disappear, so if it's extra food, they're always just to get extra.
Tanner, do you still need help? Are you good?
Round it up to a penny.
I'm currently trying to figure it out, but the calculator gave me a nonsensical answer.
Okay, what did you put into your calculator?
9 divided by 0.75,
What did you get?
12,
Okay, why is 12 a nonsensical number?
Disregard that.
because it's greater than what I put in.
Okay, so when you think about basic skills class, right? You've taken basic skills?
Yes,
You clarified butter.
Literally.
Remember clarifying butter?
No.
yes, I do.
Okay, so when you clarified butter, when you put the butter in the pan and melted it and scraped all the milk solids out, did you end up with more or less than what you started with?
You're missing a zero.
Well, obviously less it would be because you took away some.
Perfect, good. So in this case, if I need 9 ounces of clarified butter, do I have to start with more or less?
More than the 9 ounces.
There you go. So 12 is not a nonsensical number. It's the actual number of what you need, remember? So
All
that
right.
tells you how much you have to start with. And now we have ounces and we have pounds. Do our units match?
Yes, ounces match.
Ounces and pounds are the same unit?
Oh, no, I thought you were. Okay, no.
Okay.
Ounces and pounds do not match.
Yeah, so they don't match. So what I would recommend that you do in this particular example is, let me open up my calculator. You could, like you mentioned before, you could divide $91.80 by 36. That would be your cost per pound. But our unit still wouldn't match. So what I would recommend that you do is do 36 times 16 ounces. And that tells me that those 36 pounds actually equals 576 ounces. That way, when you divide $91.80 by 576, you already have your cost per ounce of 16 cents.
All right.
Okay, see how I rounded that up to 16 cents?
Yes.
Awesome. So now, if it's 16 cents for 1 ounce and I need 12 ounces, multiply those
16
two.
times 12.
Yep, and that's your ingredient cost.
Gotcha.
So we're not doing it.
I will tell you that this butter is the only ingredient we're going to use yield factor on. Everything else, we're just going to assume it's already set the way it needs to be set, okay? But the clarified butter is the only ingredient we're going to use that yield factor for.
I just have to go to the video.
This one was for what? Which one?
The velouté sauce. All right, Amaya, you have
That's 16 times 12 or 0.16 times 12?
16 cents.
Gotcha.
Amaya, you had your hand up. Do you still have a question?
I get
I
that.
feel like I figured it out, but I'm gonna ask it anyways just to get some clarification.
Okay, ladies, hold on 1 second, because I can't hear. Amaya, go ahead.
So I was just wondering, for the chili powder, I see that it's ounces to tablespoons.
Hold on,
And-
Amaya, hold on 1 second. I think I might have a solution. Hold on.
Because there's the term that has this.
Let me audio.
Any charge for what? I think that's what you go based on.
Okay, Amaya, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
The actual one.
Go ahead.
This is what.
So I see that for the chili powder, it starts with ounces to tablespoons, and I know that they're both weight. So then,
I'm gonna stop you right there. Tablespoons is not weight. Tablespoons is volume.
Haven't done.
oh,
No.
so would that make the ounces volume too?
Nope, it's a dry ingredient. Okay, if it's a dry, the only time that ounces is volume is if it's a liquid ingredient.
Okay.
50 cents. Is it chili? Is it chili? You know.
Okay. So I was wondering, like, am I converting the tablespoons to ounces or the ounces to tablespoons?
I would
Oh,
go
wait.
tablespoons to ounces.
Right, because volume to weight, right?
There you go, exactly.
Okay. All right, that's it. Thank you.
Awesome, you're welcome. Testing, testing. Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Think I fixed this solution.
On the Chef Tech inventory list, it
Uh-huh.
says on the Chef Tech inventory list, it says it's 17.35 for 50 pounds.
Yes.
So do I just enter that as the total cost, or is it pared down the cost for one serving of this dish?
You are taking everything from the as purchased from the Chef Tech inventory list, and you are determining how much that ingredient cost based on the recipe. Okay. So yes, I know that you purchased 50 pounds of flour, but we're not using 50 pounds of flour. We're
So
only
it's just
gonna
the
use a
cost of
portion of that.
So it's just the cost of the 9 ounces of flour. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, yes. And that's where you're doing this AP to recipe. This is your as purchased from the Chef Tech inventory, and this is how much your recipe costs. How much recipe unit you need, and that will tell you how much those 9 ounces of flour are going to cost. Okay.
Then when I did that, I got, where is it? 0.3472. That's 34 cents, yes?
Say that number again for me, please. 0 point.
0.3472.
Okay, so we round up to the nearest penny.
Yeah, so is when it says 0.34, does that mean it's 34 cents or 3 cents or what?
Okay, we are rounding up to the nearest penny. So the penny is which decimal place?
Okay, I got you now. So the penny would be okay. 2 decimal places. You're right. Okay, so 34 cents.
No.
35 cents?
We're rounding up to the nearest penny, 35 cents. Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's one of the concepts that a lot of students struggle with early on in the project because you're not used to doing that. Even if, Tanner, I'm going to give you an example. Even if this number was 34,000,001, we would still round that up to 35 cents.
So if it's not 34 whatever exactly, then it needs to be rounded up. Gotcha. This can't be
Exactly.
rounded up. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. Good.
Thank you.
Jasmine, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Yamensky, I'm not too sure if you answered this already, but I had to mute because it was hard to concentrate. But I was wondering on the velouté sauce for the salt and pepper. I know it's to taste, and you had written to price that out as like a cent. Is that the final price on
Yes.
there? Is that all I
That's the
write?
ingredient price. Yep.
Okay, I wasn't sure for like when you're filling out the chart if you had to do because I did write down the 2 cents for the salt and then the 70 cents for the white pepper that I got from the chef inventory list and
Yeah.
from that same page.
That's fine. And then on the recipe amount, just put TT to taste, and then just put 1 penny as the ingredient cost.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Valerie, did you have a question? Sorry.